Welcome back to Dolphins United, the platform for Dolphins. You heard me. We back in the house. Got another video for y'all. It's been a little minute, but that draft right around the corner, so I had to go ahead, slide through, and give y'all some knowledge real quick. Right now, we just going to talk about Grier's draft history. Basically looking at the second, third, and fourth round because that's what we got coming up, right? So I would like to see how good Grier has been in the second, third, and fourth round to see how good of a chance we might have in actually hitting on that second, third, or fourth round pick. But we got to go a few years back. All right, so now I was trying to figure out when exactly did Grier take over drafting. And although it was technically 2019, we're going to go with 2018 because in 2018, I know Minka was his pick. Now, Tannenbaum had his say, and Gase had his say on certain things, but he was technically in charge of the draft, although he wasn't the GM. He got promoted after they were fired and so on and so forth, hired Brian Flores, and then he ended up strong-arming and trying to take over the draft, all right, because he used to be a scout and so he thought he knew best. But anyway, big mess. He's the GM, 19 all the way through now. 18 is what we're going to really start with, though, because he did have heavy influence on the first pick and maybe some of the others. So we'll just go through from 18 to now and see what picks so far have either worked out, failed in the second, third, or fourth round. And then we'll just, try to see if the second round pick more likely will be a hit, a third round pick, or if we're like, okay, third round pick, it's hit or miss, or it's a miss, or fourth round, it's a miss, right? Or it's a hit. Let's try to find out from what we got, all right? We're going to start with the second in every draft, then the third in every draft if we had, and then the fourth in every draft, and then we'll see what we got because those are the key areas where you can really pick up some solid. You can get solid guys in the fifth round. I think Rashard Jones was the fifth round pick at one point. Turned out to be really, really good for us. So you can find really good players in those later rounds, but we'll focus mainly on the meat of the drafts, which is the second, third, and fourth round, usually every year. Okay? Let's go ahead and get right into it, shall we? And please put in the comments if you feel like he's been hitting on second round, third round, fourth round, not hitting at all. You want to see better. And we know off rip that there's certain positions that he's a lot better at than others, right? He can't pick lineman to save his life outside the first round. He got Larry Tunsil right. He did get Robert Hunt right in the second round. That's pretty much it so far. When it comes to that, he's pretty sorry. But he did find solid running backs in later rounds. So, running backs, decent. Cornerbacks, decent. Except Noah. And offensive linemen, it's been really bad. Once again, outside of two guys. So, all right, let's get into it. We'll start with 18. In 18, in the second round, they picked up Mike Gesicki. Mike Gesicki, for what he did, is a B play. He's a B pick, in my opinion. I can't give him an A because he didn't turn into no Pro Bowler or anything like that, but he was a really good tight end wide receiving option, right? He did all those things, very athletic, and he got touchdowns. It's a B pick. He moved on to the Patriots. We'll see what happens with that. But, hey, I like it. Liked the pick when we got him. He was one of the fastest. I think he was the fastest tight end that year. Ran a 4.05 or something like that. Really quick guy. Really fast guy, not quick. He ain't quick. Really fast guy, but straight line speed. And that was it. But he couldn't block to save his life. And it hasn't really gotten much better since his rookie year. It's gotten a little better, but let's be honest. He's just trying to stay in front of a guy at this point. All right. That's a B. I don't know if that was Gase or Tenenbaum or Grier, but I'm going to give it to Grier because that's what we're doing, okay? Some of y'all will be like, well, that was Gase's pick. I get it. I get it. Trust me, I get it. But we're starting with 2018 because I know Minka was him. All right. Second round in 2019, Michael Dieter. Told y'all, an offensive lineman, which I didn't even know he was a second round pick. No, he's not a second round pick. No, he was a third round pick. That's why I was like, hold on, he's not a second round pick at all. We didn't have a second round pick, so sorry about that. I read the wrong thing. All right, Michael Dieter was a third round pick. We'll move on to 2020 because in 2019, we had no second round pick. I want to say that's the year we gave it to Josh. We gave it up for Josh Rosen, and I think so. Horrible mistake, by the way. But anyway, 2020, second round pick. We had two of them. We had Robert Hunt. Robert Hunt, right now, he's an A-. I'm not going to give him a solid A just yet, but I'll give him in the A category. Let's think about this for a second. Robert Hunt's rookie year, he somewhat struggled at tackle. Did okay towards the end of the year. Second year, got a lot better. Third year, very, very good. Now he's going into his fourth year, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to give it an A. I bumped it up from an A- to an A. I'm gonna have to give that an A. All right, he's not a Pro Bowler yet or anything like that, but he's really, really good. He's really good, and he doesn't miss games. I have to go ahead and give that an A. We'll just give that one an A. All right. 2020 draft, there were two. Second one is Raekwon Davis. Now, Raekwon Davis was supposed to be something, and usually it takes 3 or 4 years at defensive tackle to be something. So it is an incomplete grade, but I have to grade, so I'm going to give that a C. Flat out average is what I'm going to give that. Sometimes he flashes, and once again, it's not a sexy position. It's not a position you might have a lot of stats. You might just be freeing up space for the linebackers to do their things. I understand that, but we did need to see a little more impact than we've seen so far. We haven't seen that. He doesn't have a high motor, so we're not getting what we should be getting out of a second-round pick from Alabama, of all places. We're not getting that. C. Okay? It's a C. 2021. Second-round picks, we had two once again. Javon Holland was the first one. That's an A. All right? He's been everything you wanted him to be. That's the type of guy you want to get after you lose Minkah Fitzpatrick. You replace him with a Javon Holland. That's what you want. I love it. It was a slam dunk pick. Okay? So far, Grier hasn't been doing too bad on second round picks. The second pick of 2021 happened to be Liam Eichenberg. Now, Liam Eichenberg right now, I would have to give him a C-. And I could be a lot harder on him than that, but he started out at right tackle, went to left tackle his rookie year, and it ended up at guard. Like they moved him around too much. They kind of messed with him. Then this last year, they pretty much had him solely, for the most part, at left guard, trying to learn that position, and it was okay. So some of it's on coaching, some of it's on moving him around too much. I'm gonna give him a C- right now. That's not what you want to see for a second round pick. You want him to be in the B plus area, but I have to give it a C. He's virgin on the D, to be honest. I'm giving it a C- right now, and we'll see if he can be a little bit better moving forward. Because man, do we need it? All right, some of these second round picks need to pan the heck out. All right. So far, I'm liking some of it, and I'm not liking some of it. But there's no Fs, right? I notice I haven't said anything about an F or a D yet at the second round picks. That's pretty good. That's pretty good because you would think by now having the second round, and then that's 2 years back to back, you had 2 of them in the second round, and there are no Ds. Okay, that's fine. All right, Grier, you're showing us a little something. I can appreciate that. Next up, 2022, we didn't have no second round picks. So, of all the picks I just said, any of them to you are like straight up bust yet? Like they're already bust. Some of y'all are already writing Dieter in right now. You stopped the video to write in Dieter. Welcome back. All right. You stopped the video to write in, not Dieter, sorry. Liam Eichenberg, said wrong name. You already wrote his name down. In my opinion, Liam Eichenberg cannot be a bust just yet. We got to give him a little bit more time than that. All right. Most of y'all are not going to say Raekwon Davis is a bust yet. But you already wrote down Liam Eichenberg as soon as I said it. To me, he's not a bust yet. We got to get that man some time. Let's see what he does this next year, if he can improve. They said he was improving before he got hurt last year. We'll see. All right, we'll see. Let's move on to the third round picks. 2018. In the third round, we picked up Jerome Baker. When it comes to Jerome Baker, y'all know my problems with him as a linebacker. Apparently, they see something different. Vangio sees something different so far, unless they trade him during the draft. I don't know. Which next week, we'll definitely get into, the needs and go over draft prospects. And I may do a mock draft, I may not, but we'll get into all that, right? There's more videos coming, basically, is what I'm saying. Jerome Baker, I have to give that a B-. Because he did get the second contract. All right, that says something when you're able to get the second contract. He has made plenty of plays. He's a starter. It's not like he's a backup. He's a starter quality on 32 teams. Jerome Baker's going to be starting somewhere. That's a B. B-. I give him a B-. All right, I want to see more. I wish there was more. But to me, he's a B- product so far. Some of y'all going to say I'm tripping. Right? You're like, man, what are you talking about? He's done. Blah. I get it. I'm grading a little hard on him because I'll be honest, he don't do it for me at linebacker. Okay? Blitzing, yes. But when it comes to being a linebacker, that means you're not just blitzing, you're in coverage. That's been spotty as heck. It hasn't made enough plays for me on that. And the other thing is you got to be able to run stop. And he ain't been able to do that either. Can't get clean off of, can't keep himself clean, meaning that not getting washed on the run scheme by blockers. And shedding blocks is a problem as well, something that David Long is good at. Jerome Baker just isn't good at it. So for me, as a linebacker, I can't give him an OA. Okay? Although he has been serviceable. B-. Let's keep this going. That was the only one in the third round that year. Now, 2019, let's talk about Michael Dieter because he was a third round pick. in 2019. Michael Dieter, that's a D. Okay? Dieter stands for a D grade in this sense. The only reason I'm giving him a D, because he was serviceable to me at center. He was all right. As a backup center, he was serviceable. But he didn't even make it on the team after his rookie contract was up. We just let him walk in free agency to another squad because, and I think he might have went possibly, maybe, to Arizona on a one-year deal. But I can't remember fully. Doesn't matter anyway. I wish him the best. That was a D in the third round. Okay? We want to see a little bit better than that in the third round. Unfortunately, that's not what happened there. We didn't have any other third round picks, so we move on to 2020. In 2020, we had one, and that was Brandon Jones. Brandon Jones is a B player, in my opinion. First year, didn't like it too much in the first year, I'm going to be honest. First year, I'm like, man, I don't know about this guy. Second and third year, loved it. Okay? Loved it. It was okay in 2020. 2021, 2022, loved what I was seeing. And he was starting to be better in coverage in 2022 before the doggone injury. All right? Before the doggone injury. So, with that being said, he's up for a contract after this year. We'll see what happens. We'll see if he can make his money, because I'm sure he's going to want to be making his money. But I love what I saw from Brandon Jones. He gets a B. He can really go up to an A with a full season under his belt, playing at the level he was playing at before he got hurt this past year. But that's a really good pickup for a third-round pick. That's a B. 2021. In the third round, we picked up Hunter Long. Hunter Long, we just traded away. Being that the Rams wanted Hunter Long. See, some of y'all, here's the problem I have with some of y'all, right? You're going to want me to say he's an F because he ain't doing anything for us. But another team wanted him. Another team saw value enough in him to say, yeah, you're giving us the pick. We want him as well. All right? It's not like they're like, oh, in order for us to get Ramsey, you have to take on Hunter Long. No. Because if they didn't want him, they were like, oh, I guess you're not getting Ramsey. You know, like, that's just plain and simple. So they asked if he's available, and they were like, yeah, well, you know, probably like, we really don't want to let him go. But, you know, like, one of those, like, you know how it goes. You got to act like you don't want to let him go when you know, like, you would have let him go for a 7th-round pick to any other team that wanted him type deal. And they let him go. But some other team wanted him. So because of that, I can't give no F. He gets a D+. All right? He get a D+ because some other team doggone wanted him as part of a package deal. So that means that there's something there. We just haven't seen it yet. Whether it's injury, scheme, whatever it's been. We haven't seen it yet. There might be something there. 3rd-round pick wasn't good for us, but somebody else wanted him. I'm not going to give it no F, D+. That's my reasoning behind that. I hope y'all can understand why I'm doing that, right? This past year, we had one pick as well, and that was Channing Tindall. Now, incomplete grade. It's hard to give a grade after 1 year, especially when you really didn't see somebody play at all. Well, not at all, but very sparingly. We'll see what he does this year. This is his year to actually, you know, get into the fold of things and get things going. But based on what we've seen so far, although it's an incomplete grade, I'll have to give it a C-. Because we went and got David Long. And if you thought Channing Tindall could have been David Long, you wouldn't have gone and gotten him. And that's what he was supposed to try and be. So maybe I'm wrong. But right now, C- based on maybe other 3rd-round picks that came out that have actually panned out for other teams that we could have gotten our hands on. Okay? So, with that being said, third round picks for Grier are not like the second round picks. He hit on a few, but man, he really missed on a good amount of them. So, coming up now, it's not the end all be all. It's not to say that he won't hit on all his picks coming up, but it's unlikely. Third round, so far, we had a very few hits, like real hits, right? Jerome Baker and Jones. After that, it's like, man, it really fell off, okay? And even those players, they're not like marquee stars or anything like that. So we got to keep an eye out for third round because third round's a little bit shaky when it comes to Grier. Second round, we got a good chance of getting something solid. Third round so far, based on what we see, it ain't looking that good. All right? It really ain't looking that good. And we're looking at, like, right now, like 35-65 type joint. Like 35% chance of success. That ain't that good. Whereas in the second round, right now it's looking like 70-30. You know, that's pretty good odds, right? But 35-65, man, you know, that's hard, okay? So we'll go to the fourth round and then we'll close this out. Sorry if this video is a little long. I'm doing okay on time, but it's going to be a long one, right? Because we're going through all this and I got to just detail everything out for you guys. Y'all know that's how I like to do things. I like to keep it, you know, simple. So we go through everything. All right. Back 2018, fourth round picks. We got a few of them, so we'll just rattle them off. I'll rattle both of them off, okay? Fourth round pick, Durham Smythe, Kalen Ballage. All right, we'll start with Ballage. Ballage, he had one good game for us against the Vikings. Real good game against the Vikings, man. It was a great game. That was it. D-. Yes, another team ended up picking him up in the Chargers, and he's done decent for them in the past few years. I don't think he plays for them anymore, but he D-. Smythe, I have to give Smythe a B+. Smythe has been healthy for the most part. He's been reliable. He's a good blocker, and he's a decent receiving option. He gets a B+ for me. That's where he actually found something there in a fourth round pick. I like it. Really like it. And he got the second contract. Actually, he got a third contract. So I really like it. Really, really like it. Let's move on. 2019, we did not have a fourth round pick, so we'll move on to 2020. In 2020, we had one, Solomon Kinley. Solomon Kinley did not pan out for us. Now, granted, with this scheme, you needed more athletic guys. And with the previous scheme, it was a power run scheme. So I understand that. That being said, he was out of shape. And he couldn't do anything in the pass blocking game as much as he could in the run game. Power run. With that being said, it gets a D for me. Don't like it. Grier, so far in the fourth round, has had one hit in Smythe. That was 2020, 2021. Fourth round picks, we didn't have any. 2022, fourth round pick, Eric Ezukanma. Eric Ezukanma is an incomplete grade. I like what I saw in preseason, though. So, because of the preseason, I have to give that pick so far, based on preseason, although he didn't get to play much, but that's because we have a lot of depth. So I'm not going to really put that against him like that. I'll give it a C. I'll give it a C+ because I really like what I saw in preseason. I give that so far a C+ grade, but it's really incomplete. Really incomplete. So when it comes to Grier, second round, you can pretty much bet that it's going to be a player that we can rely on. Third round, close your eyes and pray. Fourth round, close your eyes and pray double and fast. Close your eyes, fast, and pray. Because, man, like, it just, and I'm pretty sure if I did the 5th round, 6th round, 7th round, it probably goes downhill from there. Grier has been decent in the 1st round, good in the 2nd round, not so good in the 3rd round, and really bad in the 4th. So Grier's bread and butter, he needs to get more 2nd round picks. The more 2nd round picks he can get, the better for us. That's what he needs, is 2nd round doggone picks. And a few firsts doesn't hurt either, because he's hit on some 1st round picks. Let's not kid ourselves here. But I'll holler at y'all in the next one. Let me know how you feeling about all of what was said here. And I'll catch y'all. Love y'all. I'm out.